didn't have to take any notes on this episode. I know exactly what I need to say. I couldn't even get off the couch fast enough to run and do this review of this latest episode in Love and Marriage Huntsville. So this is a girls trip that Mel set up. Last season Nell set it up and it was a couples trip. This is the strictly girls trip, right? Okay, first things first. They get there, Mel dishes out the rooms. She's brought two of her single friends, basically her real friends. She's not even friends with anybody else. Maybe she cool with Nell or whatnot, or maybe. But anyway, Tisha, Kimmy are sharing a room, and Destiny, which on this episode she hadn't arrived yet. So Tisha and Kimmy don't like the fact that there's three of them in this room. Now here's my thing. I feel like you should have booked a villa where everybody had their own room. That's number one. Number two, just like Tisha said, I feel like that was done on purpose. I feel like Tisha said, you booked the room, how you feel about us is how you booked the room. And I agree. She's not cool with Destiny anymore. She's iffy with Tisha and Kimmy. And I feel like that was done on purpose. I really do. I think that's one of those throw a rock, hide your hand type of move, And then Mel was saying she didn't know Destiny was coming. And Tisha even showed a screenshot when she was in confessional talking that she texted her and said Destiny was going to be her +1. So it made Mel look real sneaky and kind of two-faced, and it's like backstabbish. Why are you acting like you didn't know Destiny was coming? You put them in this room on purpose. Now, Nell was hooting and hollering because her room didn't have a name on it. Everybody had a name on their bed. I wouldn't have gotten that upset over that. Now, back to Tisha and Kimmy. If I were in their position, let's say I didn't have any kind of issue with Mel. I think I would be okay with sharing a room. I don't have a problem with that. Last time I traveled, I got an Airbnb where I was in the basement. The owner of the house was in a room that was in the basement, and there were two other beds in the room with me. Luckily, though, nobody had rented those spaces out, so I did have the downstairs basement to myself. But I personally wouldn't care. But I think what Tisha was saying, since they kind of had that little issue, it was done on purpose, and I definitely agree. So Sunny and them end up coming. Sunny, Latricia, Stormy, I don't know who else. They all ended up coming later to I'm calling it a villa, but anyway, the nice house. It's very beautiful too. That whole scene was like something straight out of postcard. I don't know. I think everybody here that's watching this channel is probably old enough to know what a postcard is. But before social media, you could buy a postcard for where you were. You just write a little letter, note on the back, and you just send it out just like that. You don't put an envelope or anything. But anyway, it was postcard nice. In today's terms, Instagram nice. So yeah, I might have to take a little trip to St. Thomas. So anyway, we get there, and once they get this settled, well, first of all, Nell and Kimmy got into it, and Nell was just telling them, y'all gotta suck it up because my room's in between y'all, and Kimmy took offense to that. I feel like Kimmy shouldn't have got that riled up about it. Like, Nell is a good 15, 20 years, 20 something years probably older than them. I'm not saying that gives her an excuse. I'm just saying, how older people are. Like, I just wouldn't have gotten that upset. Like, at the end of the day, you're in St. Thomas on vacation chilling, and I'm not trying to call these people rich, but you could tell when people have money, the type of stuff frivolous things they argue about. Like, if somebody paid for me to go to St. Thomas, and paid for me to stay in a villa and I had to share a room with 2 other people, honey, I wouldn't have no problem. But like I said, I'm in a different position than they are. Plus, they got some lingering issues with Mel. So we get to the table scene where everybody's eating and everything. And so Mel's friend. Now I have a question, and I'm not being shady at all. I just really want to know is. You know what? Never mind. I'm not even gonna go there. But Nell's friend, the one with the blonde hair, because she had 2 friends. One's, chocolate skin. The other one's has blonde hair. She seemed to be really going in on Tisha, saying you better watch her, because Tisha was like, well, her and Stormy don't really care for each other. Because Stormy called her husband a B multiple times. Stormy don't care for each other, but I'm still sitting next to her. That's what Tisha was saying. So I don't know her name, but Mel's friend was like, well, you got to watch that because you the ops and blah, 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 blah. And so then they got into the Sunny discussion, and Sunny's sitting right there. Now, Destiny's not there yet, but Sunny's sitting right there. And Mel's friend was like, well, y'all need to be getting mad at him, not her. And then Trisha was like, well, they were friends and blah, 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 blah. And then the girl was like, well, no, she was a producer. I feel like Mel's friend, I don't know if she was trying to have a moment because she knew she was on TV, but they're saying her friend doesn't really know them like that, right? So why are you putting so much energy into this group and saying that you need to watch Tisha? She said it again, actually, because Tisha had invited Destiny, and then Mel tried to act like she didn't know, and then Tisha was like, I text you that. It's like, and the whole time they were at the dinner, Mel was really quiet. So I'm like, my thing is, while I'm watching this, excuse me, I understand you're on a show and these are your coworkers, but why even invite Tisha and Kimmy on the trip if you don't care for them like that? Did Carlos tell you that you had to include them for are you doing it just for the show or what? Because if I were Tisha and Kimmy, I wouldn't even want to be there. Like, who wants to sit there and go on a trip if you're going to be uncomfortable and you got the host friends jumping on you, friend, because the other girl's quiet, jumping on you, don't even know you, and the host is just sitting there not saying anything. Like, granted, I understand everybody's grown and you don't need the host's protection per se, but it's like, we know we have these issues with each other or whatever. We're not really that cool. We don't talk to each other outside the show. I just don't understand what was the point of the girls' trip. But like I said, maybe Carlos was like, y'all need to have a trip. Because I know on reality TV, oftentimes the cast will go on a trip somewhere. They do that on, last time I watched Basketball Wives a few years ago, they would do that every season. No matter who's beefing with who, everybody would go on a trip. But it's just a waste of a trip. But if I were in Tisha and Kimmy's position, honestly, then this is why you bring your own money. I would really kind of just separate myself from the group a lot of times. That's what I would do. We can do some group stuff together, but I'm gonna go off over here and go into town, go to a little tourist part of town, get some souvenirs, go rafting, whatever they have available in St. Thomas. Now, these 2 greeters I want to get on. Get to as far as talking about. They were really cute, not, you know what though? I feel like guys get those jobs in countries like that just so they can screw tourists. I'm sorry, I do. Because you're this good looking guy, you got this Caribbean accent going, and everybody loves a Caribbean accent no matter where it's from, St. Thomas, Jamaica, Barbados, whatever. Like, any Caribbean island, any Caribbean accent goes hard for anybody, right? So I'm looking at them 2 dudes like, they just be getting their hunch on at work, okay? But hey, shoot, I don't blame them. Everybody's grown and consenting, so So next episode, Destiny comes, and I really want to see how this is gonna pan out. And I also found out that the season finale is coming up really soon. It seemed like the show just came on. They didn't say season break, so I'm guessing we won't see Love and Marriage Huntsville again until next year, because it is almost September, so I don't see them coming back this year at all. But anyway, it looks like it's going to be a mess. A mess. I also want to say I love Latricia's hair, that she has like a curly, and it's like pushed up, like pony type of thing. I thought that was really cute. And I didn't care for Mel's hair too much. I'm not sure if it was a wig or hair, but I'm not into long braids anymore, just because it's like you sit on them, you lay down, they're falling and all that. But, and now Nail's hair was nice. Nail's hair always looks good. Like, honey, she is going to give you hair every time. But anyways, y'all, shout out to my 72 subscribers. Shout out to the rest of you as well. Please like and share. And reach out to me in the comments. Let's talk about this episode. Do you think there's anything that I missed? Do you agree with me on some parts? Disagree? Let me know. Peace and blessings to you all. Until next time, y'all.